It's getting down and dirty. The insults are flowing freely in the race to be the Republican candidate to take on Barack Obama in this year's presidential election. And as the campaign moves to a Florida showdown next week, the momentum's with Newt Gingrich after his stunning victory in South Carolina. North America correspondent Craig McMurtry joins me now from our Washington studio. Craig, Newt Gingrich is certainly back. What's he been telling voters?
Nicole, today's been promising a moon base, a permanent American moon base by the end of a Gingrich second term. It's a very grand promise, one that will distress many in Washington who are trying to find ways to cut the ballooning deficit. But it's music to the ears of Floridians who are very distressed that the space shuttle program has wound down. He's also had a huge rally, Tea Party supporters, a big turnout. He's trying to cast himself as the outsider, which is somewhat surprising, because, of course, he was a former House Speaker and worked in Washington for 30 years, but he's portraying himself as an outsider. He's campaigning increasingly not only against Mitt Romney, but also the party establishment, and he's accusing the former Massachusetts governor and, indeed, his proxies in a campaign that's getting increasingly nasty of slinging a sea of mud. Have a listen.
How much money has he made over the years foreclosing on Floridians? And how many of his people are lobbyists? And how much of his money comes from places like Goldman Sachs? And how much money of his money comes from the lobbyists?
And Craig, it's crucial for Mitt Romney to recover from a crushing defeat in South Carolina. What's his strategy?
Well, he has been more aggressive. There's yet another televised debate between these men and, of course, Rick Santorum and Ron Paul this evening. Mitt Romney has been more aggressive more recently, so much so that many of his supporters within the party, senior figures, are warning him not to appear too shrill. And really, the party establishment is coming out now, all guns blazing, directed at Newt Gingrich, in the hopes that Mitt Romney could, in a sense, sail above the fray. Some of the language, the rhetoric is extraordinary. They're labelling Newt Gingrich Dr. Newt and Mr. Hyde. They are accusing him of being unreliable, erratic, a narcissist. They are questioning his capacity as a leader, whether he could be a reliable leader as president, given his record as House Speaker. As for Mitt Romney, he's really trying to emphasise his business credentials. Here's an example.
But if you want someone who's actually run a business, run two businesses, helped run an Olympics, and helped run a state, who hasn't lived in Washington but is intent on changing Washington and making it work for the American people, then I'm the person to vote for on Tuesday.
Craig McMurtry in Washington, thank you.
Okay.